So when I was first introduced to the passion flower, I only knew it as a flower. It was 2004 down in New Orleans, and there was a number of places where you could find flowers that looked very similar to this. They had some darker purple in them and stuff like that. I saw that they were a nice vining plant. Very beautiful as far as the flowers were concerned. Another one down there. But I didn't realize that eventually they set fruit. I did not realize they were edible. I didn't know about people making tea from the flowers to help with insomnia as a sleep aid. I didn't know about people drinking tea from the leaves as a way to alleviate some of the things that Parkinson's disease can afflict people with. And I certainly didn't know that they would make edible fruit. But now, knowledge is power. Now I know. So this is one of the areas of our garden where we had some growing wild that we just let grow, and we are so happy we did. There is probably, I should count, but I bet there's like 100 fruit here. They're up here, they're hanging here, they're hanging here. I bet there's like 100 fruit, and that is awesome, especially when you've got like a family of 8 who absolutely loves these. So there's a lot of different types of passion flowers, passion fruit around the world. They can ripen to green, that's what these do. They can ripen to yellow, they can ripen to purple, they can ripen to red, depending on what kind they are. They grow in a lot of different places. People use them in desserts, they'll use them in drinks, they'll use them as just something to eat fresh. And one of the reasons I like them is you can find them growing wild all around so many places. That if you kind of get familiar with the plant, you understand what you're looking at. It could be a good food source if you ever really needed it. And here, we just love having it as a tasty treat anyway. So I've never seen anything like this myself, just letting a wild one grow and produce this much. But these guys are good for well, vitamin C, carotene, magnesium, phosphorus, potassium. A lot of good benefits, and for us, what we find, especially because these don't change color when they ripen, and some people will call these, I think, maypops too. But since they don't change color when they ripen, what we do is we let them fall to the ground. Some of them will look exactly like this when they fall to the ground, but this one here is pretty heavy. You look at some other ones, they might be really light. They've got to have a good weight to them. And then these ones don't really look as appealing anymore. Like I said, a lot of times they just fall to the ground, they're green, but I bet you these are still super tasty. So for us, because they're such a precious food, I mean, I call them the fruit snacks of the forest. We make sure to wait till they fall before we even try eating them, because if you open them just a little bit before they're ripe, they'll never get ripe, and we don't want to ruin that. But then what I'll do is I'll just bite them open. If you're familiar with the African horned melon, the kiwano, the inside's somewhat similar. You have these tiny little gel packets with seeds inside. Kind of like a pomegranate, but these are much softer, where pomegranate's rather firm. But the seeds you can eat, and the aroma and the flavor of these is incredible. I'm not even... Man. I know awesome isn't a good word to describe it, but it is so incredible. So that's kind of what they look like on the inside. It looks like a bunch of frog eggs almost, but we love them here. We've got them growing like crazy. I just kind of want to show you guys a little bit more about the plant. So if you're not familiar with them, you can be, because it's a plant worth knowing. pop out.